Hello everybody, Klaire Fluffle here, and I have the most insane, intense, and mind-shattering video for you today. I don't think any of us are really ready, but I'm willing to take my chances and go on this wonderful, wonderful adventure with you. We're in this together, so don't back out on me. At this point, the build-up has you tense, and the Kirby slide footage has your brain moving at 1,000,000 miles a minute. What could this possibly be about? Of course, I'm only talking about the hottest, newest discovery in the most intense Kirby speedrun, which I call the Emote skip since I found it and I'm a dog. Are you ready to find out how it works? Are you sure? Okay, the secret Kirby slide speedrun technique is... what happened? Looks like something crashed, hold on. Oh my god, how does this even happen? This is a YouTube video, eesh. Alrighty, got that fixed, very good. Now, where was I? You know, I don't remember. Oh well, I guess if it's that important, I'll remember it eventually, right? But, speaking of crashes, Kirby games can be pretty prone to crashing of some kind. Soft locks, full-on crashing, wiping save data, you name it. Which would be fine on its own, a bit weird, but nothing to write home about except for the silliness of it all. Basically, the polar opposite of giving this video a like and subscribing to the channel if you enjoy Kirby or Kirby speedrunning. Almost a third of you watching aren't subscribed, which can cause the subscription underflow glitch to happen and have my channel deleted from YouTube forever. I just made it up, but it sounds convincing, doesn't it? Anyway, what makes destroying Kirby games so much fun is when you add my bread and butter to the mix. No, not puppies, although puppies do make everything better. Actually, having a puppy Kirby sounds really cute, actually. Don't distract me! We're talking about speedrunning the crashes. How quickly can you crash a Kirby game? Granted, most of these aren't actual documented categories. For the most part, they're just fun ideas. It doesn't mean they're not worth talking about, of course, but if you ever wanted to run the legendary Crash Kirby Star allies with a bag percent, don't expect much in the way of competition. Before we start, I want to quickly define what crashing a game means. It's really broken down into two main categories, actual game crashes and soft locks. When you soft lock a game, your average consumer will look at it and think, wow, the game didn't crash. Therefore, it is in a perfectly acceptable state to play and I am so cool for not crashing it. But in reality, the game is in a state where you can no longer play it, or at the very least, the only way you can advance the game is to reset. You could still be cool, at least I think you're cool, but no, you still can't play the game. This Forgotten Land one that's showing on the screen right now, for example, is not a soft lock, since you can just exit out of the stage. On the flip side, if a game crashes, you're just done. You need to reboot the game entirely if you want to play it again, given that it didn't just turn off outright. And keep your fingers crossed that your save data didn't get wiped either. It's a very real fear when trying game crashes, so here's a quick disclaimer before trying any of these. If you lose your save data because of this video, it's not my fault. I'm just a pup who told you how to lose the save data to begin with. One final thing before I inevitably wind up helping someone destroy their Kirby game forever. If you really enjoy the video and want to go the extra mile, please consider becoming a pup train on my Patreon, linked in the description. You get neat perks, including early access to videos such as this one. Special thanks to my head-patting Fluffle fan puptrins, Biohazard, Vilafar, the serval that likes strawberry Pop-Tarts, and Lydia Scribe. I love you all. Since I already brought it up, we should talk about how you can crash Kirby Star allies with a bag. See, when either Rick or Gooey guard, they hide inside of a bag. This is funny, because in Dreamland 2, they're stuffed inside of that same bag by enemies, so... Stockholm Syndrome confirmed? Anyway, if they're hiding in the bag and happen to get crushed, the game doesn't really know what to do since the bag doesn't go away when they die. It frantically searches for a character to attach the bag to internally, and when it can't find anything, the game crashes. We can see this in effect right here as... Wait a minute, the game didn't crash? Aw, dang, they patched it? So, I just bought it up for nothing? Shoot. Well, how about the T-Pose glitch? If you enter the final phase of Void and get rid of player 2, watch the ending cutscene, and then go to the gallery to rewatch it, the game can crash. So even though it takes way more time, let's try dang it, they patched that out too. What about the Kawasaki ice crash that wipes your save data? Let's not try that one. I don't want my save data being wiped, but man, Kirby Star Allies had a great crash and a great speedrun even, and it doesn't work anymore. We're like 5 minutes into the video, and because of modern gaming, I haven't shown off a single crash or soft lock. Think, puppy, think. 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 Yeah, that's right, I'm puppy, I don't think. Oh well, maybe a nice relaxing swim will help me out. I love jumping into pools and stuff, plus I'm nasty in a water gun fight. Oh, looks like Kirby's getting out of the water, maybe they've had enough? I don't mean to spin this video against Kirby, but yeah, I like the water. Wait, I think I actually just literally spun Kirby, like, forever? Yep, for a Nightmare in Dreamland specifically, if you use Crash Kirby just as you exit a body of water, Kirby will spin forever. Specifically, because the splash effect gets in the way, the game doesn't register that Crash is used, which results in it trying to use Crash over and over, which it can't because you already used it. Ironically, in a sense, it does actually succeed in crashing. There's even a body of water in the first level of the game. If you're epic enough, you can mix for it in the first room and get this crash in under a minute. I am not actually epic enough. Similar to most of the breaks in this video, this isn't technically a crash, but a soft lock as mentioned earlier. They're just a lot more common than full-on crashes, but I also think they're a lot more fun. This is something you would expect sooner out of someone like Precaspery than me. By the way, Precaspery, he's a VTuber. That's so cool. But imagine how much fun it would be if you had, say, like a DS with the volume off and you closed it, handed it to a friend and asked them to get past this really hard part in some Kirby game. Kirby games are easy, they'd say, confident of their gamer skills, only need to see Kirby spinning and unable to do literally anything. I'd be silly not to put my mwahaha puppy face in the video, so future editing pup, this one is for you. Let's not let Nightmare have all the fun, though. As fun as it is, to me, it doesn't hold a candle to the original Kirby's Adventure. And with that being an NES game, the crashes and locks are sure to be aplenty. And you'd be right. But for simplicity's sake, I'm only going to highlight one. The good news is, this is my favorite of the bunch, one that I've already highlighted on this channel even. The cherry on top is that it's super easy to pull off. To find the Fire Lion, which, yeah, admittedly doesn't happen until Yogurt Yard 5, it kind of hurts the speedrun potential, but you can zoomies through Adventure really fast anyway. To pull off the UFO glitch or something, you're at this point of the game in like 20 minutes. Whatever. Anyway, now that you're there, make sure you have the cutter ability, and get into an epic battle with this blue lion. Yes, in Adventure, he's canonically blue. This game is funny. But when you're about to deal the final blow, stop thinking so small scale. Think bigger. Think grander. Think sillier. Throw a cutter blade away from the Fire Lion when he's about to grab you. He'll go yum 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 yum, but the cutter blade you threw will save the day. And soft lock the game. I guess when Kirby is being grabbed, they're not an actual object in the game for some reason. I don't know, but this one lasts forever, literally, and you can't get out of it. If you want to practice this, then the Orange Ocean Arena is a great place to do so. Unlike the actual level, you can't even exit it if you've already cleared, so if you want to prank a friend, this is absolutely the way to do so. That said, these are soft locks for babies! And we're not babies, we're gamers! Oh god. Let's start doing some soft locks against final bosses. Whoa, whoa, whoa. But first, have you ever wondered what I smell like? Hey, don't click off the video, I promise this isn't anything weird. I'm just saying, if you want to know my scent, I have a candle! It is called the Vanilla Fluffle Scented Candle, and I think it came out really, really well. At the checkout, you can either decide to get a normal candle or one with a wooden wick if you like to hear that crackling sound. I don't think that's it, but that's the sound that I wanted to make in the moment. Not only is this website a trusted source, and you can have a little more Fluffle in the house, and if you use the link in the description down there, you will also be supporting me for no extra cost. Thank you very much again to Candle for this opportunity. This isn't a sponsored video or anything. I just wanted to let you guys know I have a candle now. Now, on with the video. For starters, let's do a soft lock that's not against the final boss and play Kirby 64. This can be done against Miracle Matter, and I mean, yeah, I suppose that it is technically a final boss in a sense. And just make sure you any percent this sucker and don't get every crystal shard. Again, this being so late in the game does limit your speedrun potential, but I don't know, what can you do? As for the soft lock itself, in the Miracle Matter fight, you need to wait for this bizarre D&D die to start using its fire attack. Once it does, make sure it's firing off horizontally and not vertically. In theory, you could do it vertically, it's just a lot harder. And once it does, you stand directly underneath it and jump right into it when you have 1 HP left, fearless of the consequences. If you did it right, instead of dying, your bravery is rewarded with a Kirby that has 0 HP and is invincible to all of Miracle Matter's attacks. Yep, every single one of them. You're now free to wail on Miracle Matter with absolutely no potential of failure. Until you actually win, in which case the crystal shard gets boomed out and you very quickly realize you can't collect it. I think this glitch would make Kirby lore enthusiasts go nuts, but since I'm not one of those people, thank goodness, we're just stuck here. Imagine doing an any percent run and having this happen to you, your blissful ignorance preventing you from knowing the harm and consequences of your actions. Sounds tough, but let's actually fight a final boss. How about, well, if you just played Kirby 64, let's go one game backwards and lock Dreamland 3. This one is bizarre and the only one that I've got literally no guesses on how it works. If this happens to you by accident, you really should go to the lottery because your luck is so bad, it loops around to being insanely good. So what even is this soft lock that I'm speaking of? Well, after getting 97%, or best ending, seriously, I love that category so much, you would assume that the next step is to finish the final 3 modes and complete one of the worst runs in the series, my vote for the worst, 100%. Seriously, I can't stand that run. I explain why in this video here, go watch it. Yay! The good news, though, is that instead of going for 100%, you simply attack at the right time and the cutscene doesn't finish. Yeah, like I said, I really have no idea how or why this one works. Now, I can make all the silly jokes I want and act all cute puppy-like to distract you from the fact that this eats me from the inside, but I've got nothing. I imagine going for this after clearing a 97% run feels good, as it removes the temptation of going for that stinky 100% run. Seriously, so bad. But other than that, I'm clueless. Still, a soft lock is a soft lock. So if you want to prank a friend or run 0 sign me up for 100% correction therapy percent, you know what to do. Also, for what it's worth, I may have made it sound very precise, but I did this one on my first try. I was not expecting this. I thought the timing was super precise. Then I hit the button and the game completely stopped, so bleh. But enough talking about old games. Let's get more modern and talk about old games. Kirby's Epic Yarn is a fan favorite, and it's very easy to see why. It's cute and adorable, a good vibes healing game whose charms have won many over. Why would you want to soft lock this game, you may ask? Well, I mean, it's fun. Plus, this is another one where we have to wait until the final boss anyway. Unlike KDL 3, though, there's literally nothing left to do after this point, regardless of the category, so you're just doing this one to be a tad bit silly. Thankfully, Kirby won't be silly alone. Prince Fluff has to join in on the action. When you defeat the final phase of Yin Yarn and clear the game, the speedrun timing actually ends once the tank bot is fully unknit, making this even more irrelevant and silly. Kirby and Prince Fluff will grab Yin Yarn's knitting needles. They're supposed to be tossed away to a different galaxy, never to be seen again, but if you hold up on both controllers, the two will actually yarn whip up. Everything else plays out like normal, only once the Kirby dance is over, boom, soft lock. Note that both players have to be holding up here. The game won't soft lock if only one player does it. Truly, Epic Yarn encourages teamwork and friendship. So that's cool and all, but how about we talk about Undead Mangalore from Return to Dreamland? Quite the yarn whiplash compared to Epic Yarn. This is a really silly one though. I'm quite fond of it as a more in-depth softlock too. Basically, on the final hit of Mangalore Phase 1, if you can time it so that a multi-hit ability that doesn't require movement to use, like Spark Barrier or the ever-epic Bandana Copter. Woo! Magolor will keep taking damage during the climactic sword push between Kirby and, well, Magolor. Defeating Magolor while in this state kills Magolor, I take a shot every time I say Magolor, thus locking your controls as the game is supposed to do so. You can't be moving around during the introduction of that soul phase after all. That said, since the sword push fight thingy started but never finished, the game will assume you lost, thus allowing Magolor to regain health. So, okay, just get the Ultra Sword back, we can win all over again, right? Except, no, your controls are locked, remember? Oh, okay, so we just die and try again, right? Nope, because you don't take damage from anything the game can throw at you. I guess the devs wanted to be sure you couldn't die during the Magolor Soul cutscene, so they made you invulnerable to all damage. With this being the case, your only option is to reset the game. Epic soft lock achieved. Alas, we've reached the end of our journey. One final game to go down in the annals of history as the messiest Kirby game in terms of crashes and soft locks. And if you know your meme and or speedrunning culture, you already know it's Kirby Super Star. This is a nutty game right here, and while it goes insane in several ways, we can talk about some of the more insane ones. For example, in version 1.0, if you're on a ladder and have a controller that can press up and down at the same time, which I don't, lots of things can happen, but relevant to us is that the game can crash. It doesn't soft lock, it actually crashes. We finally have one of these. There's also the Dynablade soft lock. Yeah, I know, not a crash. We didn't last that long. I covered in last week's video, so instead of repeating information, I'm just gonna redirect you there. So please watch it. I'm really proud of how that video came out, but the algorithm hated it. That said, the most infamous glitch of the bunch, which is also a crash, absolutely comes from the Japanese exclusive 0%, 0%, 0% glitch that just wipes your save data for no reason. It's impossible to predict and impossible to prevent. It has something to do with moving the cartridge the wrong way due to how fragile the graphics chips are. Yeah, at least that's what people think it is, but I really don't know the exacts. What I do know is that if you're epic and dumb like a puppy, like me, you can manually perform a save wipe glitch that results from a soft lock. How convenient for us. To do this, enter Milky Way Wishes and get the sleep ability. With an ability that strong, I'm not surprised you could do this at all. Anyway, while Kirby is sleeping, exit the stage while holding L and R. Trust me, this is real. Then go to Galactic Nova, watch the Marks cutscene, blah blah blah. Then, as soon as you enter the heart of Nova, the game will freeze. No, unless you're on Switch Online, then just this message pops up, and when you open the game back up, like your save data is still there. But if you're playing on anything else, once you reset, because that's all you can do, that will result in the 0% save wipe. Hilarious. There really is nothing quite like Kirby Super Star. There are other soft locks and crashes and glitches to discuss, but we gotta end it eventually. Clearly, Kirby Super Star is the most insane Kirby game ever, with Dynablade 1 specifically being the fastest soft lock in the game, probably even the series. There's nothing really like it, and what's going on? Like, the video's over, guys. Why are we showing footage of a different game? I mean, don't get me wrong, it's Superstar Ultra, best game ever made, but... Huh? Wait, hold on. Wait, KSSU also has a soft lock on the exact same level that the original game has a soft lock on? Actually, this one's more like a crash, given that the game just stops and, like, you hear the music, right? Plus, you activate this glitch with a bomber, and the bomber enemy gives you crash, so... yeah, wow. Oh my god, this rules. Anyway, I don't have much of a fancy outro for this one. If I were to recommend you actually speedrun these, which I would only do if you're ready for your save files to potentially be wiped, I'd recommend KSSU first, like, easy. It's not hard. Dynablade 1 is super early in the game, but still requires skill in Spring Breeze and a suplex mix in Dynablade 1, and overall actually feels like a genuine speedrun. I can also recommend the original KSS, since it's legitimately a category extension on the speedrun.com leaderboards, which is super funny to me. And none of the others, unfortunately, really jump out to me as quote-unquote authentic speedruns, but if you want to have some fun, I'd really recommend any and all of these. I'd also recommend... Actually, I don't have anything. Shoot. Well, I've been Claire. Thank you all so very much for watching, and I will see you around. Bye-bye!